Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Good Afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Talking Horses. Anthony Stabile and Andy Serling as we kick off Gotham Week. Gotham, of course, 10-race card tomorrow, kicking off at 12:50 with a big overflow field for the Gotham at this point. Looking forward to that day. 8 races today, and that's about all I got to say.
That's all you.
That's
Forrest
it.
Gump. That's all you got to say about that.
I'm going to leave. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
I met somebody the other day who had never seen Forrest Gump.
I work with somebody who's never seen The Godfather. Let's head over to Naira Bets.
That's right.
But he's seen Naira Bets. Jose Lozcano making an appearance in the show. Nice to see
Let's
Jose.
go. Hi,
On
Jose.
there with those Belmont. I like that. The Belmont substitutes, Belmont Silks.
The old
looking
white
good.
pine.
$200 bonus 200. We have changed it. It's bonus 200 to sign up for your $200 match deposit. Head over to Naira Bets. 20% exacta bonus.
Do we know who that is?
It's a Klarovich horse. I don't know who it is.
Thanks, Mr. Obvious.
How would I know? Well, I don't. How would I
I'm
possibly know who
kidding.
that is?
I thought maybe we could figure
Who has
it
a
out.
white blaze? I can't even tell what rider that is from that, to be honest with you. Can you?
It's got to be the winter because of the face mask. I think it's Manny.
Well, that's a fairly reasonable guess.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's today. We also got 20 times points at Dubai. That's for Saturday. It's tomorrow morning.
Super Saturday.
Super Saturday.
Tomorrow's
So
Super Saturday. So that's the preview for World Cup
Just
night.
3 weeks out. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We also have Gotham Challenge up till I think probably 5 o'clock.
Yes, 5 o'clock.
Head over to naira.com/contest, $300 buy-in, BC seat, cash prizes. I believe you can only play that at Naira Bets, though, right? It's not on track.
I believe so.
Naira Bets. Also, we're on from 1 to 4:30 in FS1 and 4:30 to 6 on FS2.
The Deuce.
Race number 1. These are maiden claimer friends that we've seen a lot of. I assumed that West Star would be favored. We would show this last race last time and lost to a heavily favored horse for Jorge Abreu, who's in on Sunday's card, who I believe wired the field. I mean, I thought he ran fine in there, but I don't know. I'm just not excited with this horse. And honestly, it's a trainer that's 0 for 9 at Naira. They were all gigantic prices, to be fair. And is 4 for 54 lifetime training, 7% with $1.40 and change ROI.
All the wins came last year, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not this horse's biggest fan, but I can understand why in this race he's kind of supposed to be favored.
David made the one Midnight Express, the 2-to-1 morning line favorite, and I would imagine it is because it's Rudy versus Don Skelton. That would be my guess.
What would anybody possibly like about the one?
Well, it's Rudy versus Don Skelton.
So what? It's horse racing, not trainers. Rudy's, 10%, Rudy Rodriguez? So she's 7% and he's 10%. So it's just pointing it out.
Andy, you just said that the young lady has trained 4 winners in her career against a guy that's trained 1,300.
Okay, he's winning at 10%. His horses have not run great. What? Okay, I'm flabbergasted that you picked this horse. What do you like about this horse?
It's not so much an endorsement for him, it's an indictment against the rest.
No, obviously I don't agree. But what do you like about him? What makes him better?
I mean, his 2 races since being moved from Steve Lasaris, I mean, I'm not going to really...
They're all the same.
They're all the same. But they're enough to beat these horses. I mean, the West Star's a 1 fig kind of horse, and his other 3 figures are the same as the ones.
Right, okay, they're the same. You've got a David Dock that's run once, that's stretching out second time.
Right.
You've got a horse that in its first start ran a figure that would beat him. That's going to be a bigger price in all likelihood.
Are we talking about Incantation?
Mm-hmm. That's him.
He was 54-1, and he beat 2 horses in a muddy sealed track.
He was running in a $500,000 Stallion Series race. What did you expect him to be first time out? 10-1, 3-1, 2-1. One thing I would say about Midnight Express is I thought the rail was good last time, and he was 3 wide in there. So I would upgrade his last race a little bit and arguably make it his best race, which for me would upgrade him a little bit. But gee, I've seen enough of him, and I'm going to lean to what's the Connect the Brook story or Brock story?
I don't have one. He added.
We have him second.
So in races like this, this is going to be just a powder keg here. We're trying to have a handicapping conversation about horses that it's really hard to have a handicapping conversation
I completely disagree with that. I believe you can have a handicapping conversation about any race.
Okay.
I don't have a problem.
We do disagree about that.
I don't have a problem with you picking the horse second. In this race, I don't have a problem.
He
But I
added
just want to
blinkers,
know why you picked him second. That's all. I
he
just want
added
to know why.
blinkers, he improved. He added laces, he improved. He dropped, he improved. And I just think that he found a bunch of horses that
wait a second.
have not done much running.
He's getting Lasix the first time, so we don't know that he's improved.
I said he's adding Lasix after a race in which he dropped, stretched out, and added blinkers and improved. So I'm hoping the Lasix helps him improve a little bit more. And on top of all that, he is going to be enough of a price to kind of find out in a race where I don't think you're wrong about Midnight Express. You've kind of seen enough of him. I put him on top, and maybe I should have put Connector Brooks on top at that price. Maybe I should have changed it.
Still not sure why, but okay. As far as Incantation and watching him, the first time he ran, he broke about a length slow. He dropped well back. He actually did a little bit of running that first time out. He closed along with a horse that came back and didn't do a ton of running next time, but had run pretty well in his recent races. The rail was good that day. He was out in the middle of the racetrack. And last time out, I don't know, something obviously went completely wrong. And don't forget about his last race. That was a race that was sort of a runoff race. Obviously things went wrong. In my opinion, Incantation's first race is good enough to at least compete with these, if not win. He's not going to be a super short price either, and I thought he was a little bit interesting. As far as Wonka Warrior, I looked at his race. He broke a step slow. He was asked hard for speed. He had absolutely no speed. Vargas asked him to get into it. He was ridden along, so I didn't try, but he was a bit green, and to be fair, he was galloping out pretty well. Now, I'm not a big lover of galloping outs, but he is stretching out, and in this field, I'm going to take horses like the 5 and 6 who haven't been completely exposed. He probably took money because there was just nobody else to bet in there. It wasn't a good field, and I'm not Fed's biggest fan on dirt as a sire.
I was going to say, this might be the third frank conversation you've taken this with. You're a big frank conversation guy, apparently.
Okay. I like to have a frank conversation, handicapping conversation, as opposed to I can't have a handicapping conversation
about these horses. I think it's a little difficult.
I disagree.
Okay.
I believe that handicapping conversations adapt to the fields they're running in. Mm-hmm. You're always going to be able to handicap them. I mean, there are some races where, we've got some where they're just bad horses. I don't think this field is, they're not good, but I think there's interesting things to say about them, and there's a lot going on with a number of them. Race number 2. Who's the horse to beat in race number 2? Who did David make the favorite?
David made the entry 7-5.
Yeah, I guess.
I'd like to know which one of. I mean, is it? I guess it's Major Spin off the drop that he's making the favorite, or is he making Ghostly Prince off the race 2 back the favorite? What are you looking at me for, Money? You want to really bet Major Spin off his last race?
Major Spin is significantly more likely to win this race than the 1A.
Off of their last races, who do you want in here?
The 1. I want the 1 of his last race, the race before it, the race before that, the race before that, and the race before that. And a number of his other races below that. I don't love them. I picked them second. But I don't think it's... listen, anything's possible, but I don't think there's any question of who is figuring to take...
I will give you $2 for Major Spin off his last race.
Okay, that's fine. You don't like him. He's dropping significantly. He met significantly better horses last time out. He was dueling. It's not like he did no running. And in this race, he's the horse to beat. And he's 7-5. My guess, and David can text me because he's probably listening, is if there was no 1A in the race, he would have made him 2-1, maybe 5-2, but no more than that. Now, David may disagree, and I'd be happy if he told me he did, but I'm assuming he would be the favorite no matter what. We both picked Cheeky 2 in here. We'll show a replay of him winning 2 races back. Why did you like him?
I think Cheeky Tico, even though his fig was a little, it's okay.
Was there a Cheeky 2? There was a Cheeky 2, right?
I think so.
Was it Bond? Is that right?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
But it was I think it was one word.
Got a perfect trip to win this. Why do you like this horse?
I liked, I know he got a bigger fig going longer. I think he might want a little less ground. I think the cutback's going to help him. I just don't like this entry. And I don't really like anything else in here.
And why do you like him?
I just told you, I like him on a cutback a little bit.
That's why you like him?
Yeah, I like him cutting back a little bit.
Okay. His best 2 races figure is at 1 1/16 and 1 1/8.
Yeah, but isn't he facing lesser in here? I mean,
okay, that's fine. That's fine. But it's not the cutback.
I think it's a little bit of the cutback, too. He's facing lesser, and it's the cutback.
Not based on his races. It's based on his races, the cutback might be a negative. It's certainly not a positive. It's definitely not a positive based on his record. Now, in some sort of fantasy Candyland, maybe it's better.
That's how you feel, man.
But Anthony, the PPs do matter.
But he faced better in those races that the figs are faster. And he's not facing those horses in here.
Well, he ran second, beaten 3/4 of a length. And he only got beaten 4 3/4 lengths a mile and 1/8. It's not like
that Zuzudini race though. That figure was I don't trust that. I didn't trust that fig.
Figures. Oh, okay. Anyway,
North
all
Pole,
of his better figures indicate that he likes more distance. I don't think it matters. Okay. 7 furlongs is fine. Last time out, he was 3 wide against a gold rail. for me, that's enough to say that his performance could have been much better. And also, I'm going to say his race 2 back, while he won with a perfect trip, was coming off a pretty substantial layoff. So he got it done, but maybe he just really kind of needed a race off a layoff. And then I think he ran a lot better last time out.
And then Naked and Famous came back with the 2 races where it's just...
Yeah, it's tough to know what to do with that race, and he's sort of an outlier in there as far as that. I kind of thought about that, but I'm not sure. I think he's sort of an outlier overall. I don't love him in here. I didn't want to pick Major Spin on top either, and I certainly don't like to pick entries. I think entries the worst thing. I think Jet Speed's a little bit dangerous in this race but he's not going to really make the lead in here. But I do think he's not impossible in here. On the other hand, he's moving up off the claim. I'm just a little tired of him. He's losing races he kind of should have won.
He couldn't get in front of Naked and Famous last time. But nobody, it was like nobody on the grounds that was going to be Naked and Famous last time. So I don't know if Jackie just comes out of there blasting and tries to get in front of these horses.
She's not going to be in front of these horses. Major Spin is faster than she is. John's Protege is faster than these horses. I kind of toyed with putting Semper Fidelis on top. I wish he had a little bit better form, but he does seem like an odd horse that Butch Reed is shipping here. Maybe he's shipping to lose this horse, dropping in for a quarter. But his horses seem to run so well here that I wouldn't play a pick 5 and leave this horse out.
I thought the same thing as you. I thought maybe he was shipping here to lose him because the horses are always, they always seem to be live when they come up here, and this would be a perfect kind of spot.
I'm not sure I'd jump in and claim horses from that guy. He's pretty damn good.
Exactly.
I wouldn't. I don't. You know, I agree. I agree. I looked at that, but that
they
guy.
claim a lot of horses around here, and I thought the same thing that maybe he was here to lose them. I don't disagree, buddy.
I meant to text my friend Chad Brown and ask him if he knows who D. Hopper's named from. I'm going to tease him
Dennis,
like
right?
I tease J.K. Of course, it's named for Dennis.
It's got to be, right?
I'm joking. I'm joking.
What's your favorite Dennis Hopper role?
Oh, he's got so many great roles.
I have an answer to this.
What?
I love him in Speed. He's so sadistic
he is in so
Speed.
many good movies that he's better in.
But he's so sadistic.
When's the last time you saw Easy Rider?
Film class. 25 years. God, thanks for making me feel older than I felt this
How about
morning.
Apocalypse Now?
He's great, but he's so sadistic in Speed. He's sadistic in
Anthony,
Speed, man.
You're a fairly erudite movie understander.
Am I not allowed? But hold on a second. Am I not
Speed?
allowed to have a little bit of a goofy opinion every now and then, like I do with the
Where
horses?
do you put Jason Patrick's performance? You're just excited.
That's Speed 2.
Was he in 2?
He's on the boat, yeah.
Oh, it's Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves is on the bus.
Now, I told you this. Do you remember who Jason Patrick's grandfather is? I told you this.
Jack Lemmon. No.
Jackie Gleason.
Jackie Gleason.
Jack Lemmon.
Come on, leave me alone
Jack
today.
Lemmon. What movie did Jack Lemmon win? What
Jackie
movie did
Gleason's
Jack
birthday was
Lemmon
the
win an
other day.
Oscar for?
The Apartment?
Much later. Part with Shirley MacLaine, too, right? Billy Wilder? Wilder? You don't know what movie he won for? Early 70s. Save the Tiger. Just trying to help.
Didn't get to that one.
You know what? I've never seen it. Early 70s. Probably really
Jay
good.
Oranger wound up.
A lot of movies don't show up
Him
on
and Jason
TCM.
Patrick, best
I wish
friends.
they show up on TCM. All right, race number 3. So you picked Dennis Hopper.
Yeah, you know.
We could move to race 3.
Yeah, well.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
Magical Way is going to take too much money because of the My Racehorse connection. And I didn't love this horse's last race. I don't know about thought the blinkers would help a little bit more. Source got involved in a little bit of the pace. Opportunity Set didn't improve from the first start to the second start, so I'll guess a little with the first start. I don't know anything. The Cantheros trying 7 first time out. I guessed a little with the first start. I would imagine this horse will be amongst the 3-day bet. I'm hoping he's the longest shot of the 3. Not a ton of pedigree there. Work tabs, kind of blah.
We should probably stick to movies. I'll tell you, Dennis Hopper is in, my friend Steve reminded me of this, one of the all-time great movie scenes over the last 25 years.
Over the last 25 years?
Yeah, I'm going to say.
So that's
Trying to think what it was. No, I think early 2000. I'm not sure.
All right,
I'm
let
going to
me
leave
think
this
about
stand.
it.
You guys know what
Talk
it is.
about the race. Let me think
It's
about
Dennis Hopper and Chris Walken. It's a very small role.
Oh, okay.
In a movie full of small but great roles. A movie where Brad Pitt has a very great small role. I think James Gandolfini too. You think he's friendly? Yeah. Anyway, I have no idea. I don't guess with first-time starters. I like Opportunity Set. We'll show his first race. Thought he ran terrific in his first start. He came back and he caught a good sealed track and a race that came up super fast. I don't know what to say. This is a horse that they had always had very high hopes for. He was actually outworking early voting when he first hit the racetrack, and took a while to get the record. He should have won here. If he didn't draw the rail, he would have won. But being forced the whole way, and then better field, sealed track, I don't know. The Fig still came back good enough. You look at Byers, you look at Time for him US. I like him here. He draws a little more outside. I'm not a big Magical Ways fan either. The big figure is in that race, which sort of sticks out, and I think Opportunity Set, maybe I'm a little worried about that Fig in general. I'm not guessing with a first-time starter. Predicted, who I liked a little bit last time, he got a desperate photo to get third. That was one where I won a lunch, but I gave it back to you because I had a big exacta. To be fair, Anthony won 6 lunches from me today, and he offered to not do him because he won. But as I said, his horse was lucky to win. But as I said, my horses were nowhere near it, so I wasn't. He deserved all 6 of those. So you get those.
Thanks, Buzzy.
I think this is a more interesting race. Yeah, by the way, John Panagot got it immediately, okay? Panagot got the answer to the question immediately. That's where you put yourself. Less knowledge than Panagot. Not that I'm knocking John, but True Romance.
True Romance is a lot longer than 20 years ago, buddy.
How much? It's early. It's Tarantino. Oh, you're right.
He's not Tarantino. True Romance isn't Tarantino.
He wrote it.
He wrote it. He didn't direct it.
He wrote it. That's right. It's after. So what? That's the reason you didn't get it?
I wasn't
Get out of
thinking that.
here.
Brad Pitt's
John,
in True Romance?
It's 93. It's 30 years.
It's 30 years.
Oh, that's why you didn't get it.
Well, yeah, it is.
I was only thinking that's right because it was after. I should have thought of that because I remember a friend of mine saw, my neighbor saw Reservoir Dogs at Sundance well before it was
96?
done. No, Reservoir Dogs? No.
Reservoir Dogs before
Fall of
that?
92. Came out in late October, I think, 92. But she saw it at Sundance at the beginning of the year, so I should have realized it was right after that. Anyhow, I don't know anything about D Hopper, but I'm going to guess with Opportunity Set.
Okay.
See what happens. Race number 4, we'll break after race number 4. I think race number 4 could be a gigantic minefield for people, and I'm going to play it as such. The favorite will be Stone Creator, and I don't know what to do with her because she's obviously got some ability, but when she's been successful, she has ridden biases. Now, this was not an extreme bias, but there seemed to be a bit of a rail edge this day, and she was able to just walk along on the front end. So when she won her debut, she rode a bias that day. So I'm not really sold on her, and I assume she's going to be favored over Tough Street.
I would imagine.
And I think she has an exaggerated record. I think she deserves a chance, and she might be good, but I'm not taking her at a short price.
Okay. Wow. I mean, unless my eyes have completely deceived me. Yeah, I thought she was the lean on the card. I wanted
A
her
lean on really?
She was the absolute lean for me
Wow.
today. Yeah, I actually was really looking forward to playing this race. I want to make a absolute cold 6-1 today.
Save $5 for sauce.
This is the race I was really looking forward to betting today because I think Boston Bay comes out of that's the phoniest quarter in the history of quarters on this circuit. Tough Street, I thought, was able to just waltz around the racetrack.
What are we talking about? The phoniest quarter? What does that mean?
That race. That was the most dressed up $25,000 claimer in the history of $25,000 claimers. Those 2 fillies she beat are not.
She's going to be 5-1 in here.
That's what she can be, whatever she wants to be. And Tough Street.
You've got her third, Anthony.
I know.
You've got her ahead of Tough Street.
Because I'm not.
So you're all over the map
Street,
here. So if I were talking about the race, I would say, if I were you, I like Stone Street Creator, and one of the reasons I don't like her is I don't like Tough Street. You've got 87 opinions in this race. You know how many opinions you need in one race? One.
Well,
and your opinion is you don't like Tough Street, right or wrong?
Tough Street's going to do the dirty work chasing Stone Creator. I think she's just going to brush her off. And I like Shinful. I didn't like the ride Shinful got last time. And I hope Vargas just leaves her alone today and just lets her kind of pick up the pieces.
What about her suggest that she's going to get better with more distance?
I think he needs to leave her alone. I think he needs to just let her settle.
Was she reading to her last time? She got confused.
I'm sorry.
What was she reading to her last time? She got confused. She was exactly where she always is last time.
See, and I think he was kind of. I don't think it was where she was.
The way he rides.
I think it was the way she was ridden.
It's the way he rides, Anthony. You watch him ride.
He got to let her settle. I think, even when she won in the slop, I think she just kind of she kind of beat those horses because Granny's Connection was first time for Granny's Connection, and I think he needs to just let her settle.
He's backed by gold
and make one run.
Good luck to you here.
I'm
I could see the
I'm
6
making
winning.
a big 6.
I don't think the 1 is in the
Okay.
race, but that's fine. We have a difference of opinion. Your opinion, but the problem that I think that horse players get into, in my opinion, and I've do it myself, but I try, that you have too many opinions in one race. The reality is, your opinion in here should be, I don't like Tough Street. Now, I don't agree with you, but that's fine. You know, there's plenty of things that happen that didn't think would happen, and there's plenty of things that happen you wouldn't think happen. That's fine. Your opinion here, clearly from your picks, isn't that you're against the 4, who you made a speech about, who's 5-1. It's you don't like Tough Street, who's co-favored.
Second, right.
That's your opinion. So then you say, I like Stone Creator. You should be, you've come up with this opinion of 6-1, fine, good luck. I wish you the best. If I lose, I hope you win. Tough Street, to me, ran well last time. But look at the Tough Street race. I'm a little confused by this race. Because if you take out this race and maybe one other, you make a very strong case that this was an inside track this day. The problem I have is when you get outliers to biases, it says there probably wasn't a bias. Because if there's a true bias, you only see outliers in extreme circumstances. Heavy pace that blew up, created a collapse in the race where the closers had to do well. So the rail bias, that's not what happened here. And this horse galloped last time. Now, as you know, I've never particularly liked this horse.
I know that.
And she's made me look wrong a couple of times, and she's made me right once.
You don't really haven't been a fan of the top 2 horses you have in here.
Well, my problem with Stone Creator is their only success, and I'm always rooting for Roddy. This is not a personal thing. I want to see all these guys do well. Roddy, you got Mike Dubb and Mike Caruso. But Stone Creator has won under the absolute best circumstance in a race. And I'll tell you something. It's not clear to me that she's faster than Tough Street. And if you're Dylan, you're supposed to at least make her run a little bit. Now, if she wants to force and take the lead, it's only because she went a little too fast. But you've got the speed to run with her. You've got the speed to be in front of her.
And you're inside of her.
And you're inside of her. So if Dylan isn't at least making her earn the lead in this race, he's not doing his job, in my opinion. Unless Chad tells him or Dan Stupp tells him, under no circumstances go to lead. To me, that would be a terrible strategy because you're allowing Stone Creator to do what she does well, and you're taking away something your horse does well. So, I mean, you look at her. She's an engine horse.
He's supposed to
try
to disarm.
Blitzing each other.
He's supposed to try to disarm.
He's supposed to at least make Stonecutter work enough, Creator, if she's going to go to the lead. Because she's in the position to make her do that. And if Stone Creator turns out to have extra gears and can go faster, so be it. And if she can do that and clear you and go fast, and then you can set up shop outside and she beats you, so be it. But if you just let her go and crawl around the racetrack and sit second, you deserve to lose the race. Now, we'll see what happens in here. I don't love Bustin' Bay. Don't get me wrong. My feeling is the 6 is dressed up. I don't trust the 5, and it left me with 2 horses. I don't get your argument about the 1, but I wish you the best of luck. It leaves me with Karamoka and Bustin' Bay. I could have taken a shot with Karamoka, to be honest with you. I thought about it. I don't love where her recent form has gone. It seems like her recent races are a little bit subpar, and she got a very good setup 4 back. But her good setup 4 back gives her a chance here. At least with Bustin' Bay, you got a claim by Charlie Baker, albeit claim from a guy who's good. Arriaga wins. And she beat a terrible field last time, but she ran a figure good enough, and she's run figures before that, especially if you look at Timeform US, that make her more than competitive with this field. And I was looking at the Timeform US figures, and she kind of towers over other horses, and she fits at least, if not better than the others. And so I took her at a bit of a price. Do I love her? No. But I think the 5 and 6 are both vulnerable at short prices. We'll see. That was a very tricky race. You disagree? Maybe you're right. Late pick 4 after a quick break.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
Thank our friends at Saratoga Water, by the way.
Just took a sip. It's
Had some
beautiful.
up in
It is
Saratoga. I have
exquisite.
some at my mom's house. A nice visit in Saratoga. We had a good time.
Did you go? I didn't know you went.
Yeah, I went to see my mom.
Nice. How's Lucy doing?
She's good. She's good. We had a good time working on the puzzle. A very tough puzzle.
What kind of puzzle you got?
This is a 1,000-piece New Yorker cover. Very tough. I left her about 150. She's done an amazing job. We got a decent amount. She had done a lot. We got a decent amount.
My friend Lisa bangs out puzzles like every 2 days.
We usually have a new puzzle every time I come up. She's worked on it before. Went to Max London's, had a nice time there for dinner on Tuesday. Yeah, went to a movie. Saw Emily, the movie about Emily Bronte, which was dark but good. Yeah, a nice time.
I've been slipping a little bit.
A lot of snow up
I
there.
lost 4.5 pounds this week.
Well, a lot of snow up in Saratoga.
Really?
Yes, a lot of snow.
We got a dusting, Andy.
No, we got about 4 inches on Monday night, Tuesday, and they'd already had about 6 on the ground, I think.
Now we're good.
There was none when I was there 6 weeks ago. Anyway, you've heard enough of that idiocy. Race number 5. I agree with you. I think Feligny is the worst to beat in here. We'll take a look at Feligny's last race. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if this is just a sucker horse, but he was no, she, I'm sorry. She was kind of under the gun from the rail last time and tired late, and today it looks like she's going to be left to her own devices. See if we get the Bon Bon. You're going to try and get him off the duck earlier in the day. I'm going to try and get him off the duck a little later on in the afternoon. I'm just hoping she gets loose on the little front end in here. Coming back quick, 2 weeks. But I think she finally found the right bunch together and made her ranks
I
against.
don't think she's a sucker. I think if you look at the last 2 races she's run better than it looks. That race where Roussel won, that race fell apart other than her. Last time out, the horse that dueled with her was the Rudy first-time starter that went up as the 2-to-1 favorite. That horse looked like a winner when they headed to the top of the stretch, and that horse finished like 5th, I think. Just completely fell apart. The winner came from no man's land in there.
Moon.
Yeah, that was a race that fell apart. I actually think Feligny outran the really, I mean, I know they were cheaper races, but I think that Feligny's outrun the dynamics in both the last 2 races, particularly last time. And you look at this race now, there may be speed in here, but I don't know where the speed to run with this horse is coming from on paper. And if Feligny's able to control, which I have to think there's a good chance she's able to do, and I think she runs either of her last 2 races, she'll be very, very tough to beat in here. Now, I don't need her I don't think she'll be 2-to-1. She could be much shorter in here. I mean, he's hoping that Michelle Nevin, with the drop down, that horse gets bad. I wish I could be confident that Busted Roxy, and does get Manny Frankel, will take money, but I mean, I watched this horse. This horse may not be a thoroughbred.
Keep in mind, this is our first race with maidens where the 3-year-olds are running against the older.
Huge moment. Should we have like a moment of silence for that?
That's not silence.
No, but I think we should just.
It's time to celebrate.
The 3-year-olds aren't able to just be with themselves.
They've
got to move up their top.
They do it in Oaklawn right away.
You know what I think? You know my opinion on this. In a lot of cases, the 3-year-olds are meeting a lot of 4- and 5-year-olds that have had 400 chances to break their maidens.
A lot of people think the 3-year-olds are
significantly better off.
A lot of people think
because
the 3-year-olds have the edge.
They're just not.
Correct.
Well, they're not proven losers in many cases.
Exactly
and
right.
they've run against some better 3-year-olds in their races. Problem with Busted Roxy, I have absolutely no confidence. I picked the horse 3rd because I don't like anybody else.
I put the horse 4th because I don't really prefer anybody else. But yeah, I
like Magnolia Wind. I mean, I was going to pick it 1A5. I don't need to pick the same favorite that you like in here.
Right.
So I picked the 5 on top. As far as Magnolia Wind, I think that it's worth watching the race. This horse broke a length and a half slow. It's not that anything really happened in there. Just feels like a horse that kind of, they tried. Kendrick was trying to motivate this horse. It's not like he was just giving the horse a tour around the racetrack. And welcome back to Kendrick and Trevor McCarthy. It's great to have those guys back, by the way. But just felt like a horse that, yeah, she probably took money because it was kind of a mediocre field on paper. I get all that. But, man, she's finding her friends in here. And she had a little trouble in there and did enough that I want to give her one more chance. She's the only horse I could take against the 1A.
That's fine.
You can have the donk horse. Because I also think that donk horse comes out of a maiden race where I think the fig is could be 15 points high. I'm not sure the donk horse is supposed to be a 27 by her first time out. Though, clearly he put her in a spot she couldn't win in last time. Who was Monroe? I don't remember Monroe. He was an early president, right?
James Monroe?
Who's the horse that won this race? Monroe. Do you remember that horse? Won by almost 7 lengths. That beat Aryan Warrior. I can't remember that horse.
It was the first race on a Saturday.
February 11th.
No. First race on a Saturday.
Oh, It was that
it was
slow
Todd.
Pletcher horse that went from 1 to 5.
Yeah, Todd.
Yeah, like a 60 buyer and went
Yeah.
up by 10 lengths, right? Yeah. I don't think we'll be hearing a lot from
Monroe from Jim J. Bullock played Monroe on Too Close for Comfort. How about that one?
I don't know what that is.
No shot you watched that show.
That's correct.
It's you 80s sitcom fans out there. Ted Knight played the father.
Ted Knight, one of the all-time great comedic
Yeah.
actors.
Right around Caddyshack time. He
We're
played
going
the
to run out of time, by the way.
I
We're
don't
talking
know.
about idiocy,
I don't know
endlessly.
what to tell you.
Race number 6, we'll take a look at the how's your cash flow now. And I'm going to say something about how's your cash flow now. This horse is either just better than these, because this horse ran a big figure first time out and ran. I smell a rat with this horse. Rudy ran this horse for 20 first time out. Hasn't this horse been a vet scratch since then?
Andy, this horse walked on the racetrack first time out, and I wanted to bet every dollar in my pocket on this horse.
Well, forgetting about all that, I smell a rat with this horse. Rudy, look, trainers get horses wrong. It's a $9,000 horse. He ran for 20. Nobody bit. It's not like anybody saw him and wanted to buy him. And he ran huge. And you look at Will Be Famous, who came back out of that race and ran the kind of race I thought he'd run that day.
She beat the boys when she came back. I mean, it wasn't a good bunch of boys, but she beat the boys like a drum.
They looked like me against Muhammad
Yeah,
Ali.
I'm not saying, listen.
Even where Muhammad is now, he could probably whip my butt, but not probably. What's the line? Don't even think if you. I love this. I could watch old videos of Ali boxing and talking forever. It's the greatest. Anyway, I don't trust this horse, Anthony. I picked her second.
I almost picked the same horse you picked in here. I mean, listen, she came on the racetrack last time, like I said. She looked like a Amazon amongst 3-year-old girls.
As far as lockbox, I'm sure that's why I ran her for 20.
So,
as far as lockbox,
I was not on the program on President's Day. I liked lockbox on this day behind the winner.
you were in the program, and we talked about it.
Oh, this wasn't
You said
President's
you
Day.
considered
This was
you
the Friday.
considered picking
Correct.
this horse. You
Yes,
said.
this was the Friday, not
I think
President's
you
Day.
picked it
I'm sorry.
fourth, and you said I considered picking it.
Yeah. No, I picked this horse second, I think.
Anyway, regardless of that, this horse was down in the rail, and I think the rail was off that day, and was forcing the pace inside of the George Weaver horse. And
Pretty Miss Keen's,
there were
right?
much better horses, and that pace just completely incinerated.
Yep.
And all the running was done out in the middle of the racetrack. She has faced better horses. I think her last race is actually kind of interesting. I took her as the alternative to the 3 because I don't know if I can take Will Be Famous again, who I tried so many times. And I'm looking around these horses, and they just seem slow. Robbie Falcone's horse, Lady Shylock, won on that wet track, came back and really did no running last time out. I don't know. I just think it was too slow. Rudy's horse may just win, but I'm going to take a small shot against her.
Yeah, I mean, I understand.
Race number 7.
3s and 7s for me.
It's funny in race number 7. We'll show back by goal with that 75 fig. And I was speaking to a friend of mine yesterday, and he made a case that the figure for this race was one of a number of figures that day that have proven to be about 10 points high. And I was wondering about that.
Puts her right in line with her other figures, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And which also makes her nothing special in here whatsoever. And based on the last race, she's going to take money. I also found stats for Pat Quick. He's 1 for 31 off a win in the dirt, and he's 0 for 23 with sprinters off wins in the dirt. I don't want this horse. I thought she'd take money. Why did you like the same horse that I like?
You have back by goal 5. I put back by goal second. I
don't like her at all. I'll be pitching her completely.
I thought Roofies in Time got a weird trip last time out. I like the rider change.
What was weird about it?
I like the clean
What was
back to
weird about
Rob. I just didn't like the ride. I don't want to pick on the kid too much. I just didn't like the whole ride. I didn't like the whole thing last time.
Okay. She was running against the boys last time and running against better horses in her last race, and she chased Foolish Goat around the track, which is a tough way to go because Foolish Goat's a very fast horse. She actually ran fine in there. Overall, she's met better horses for me in going her back races. And I think, oddly, even though she's claimed for 25 and moving up, in general, she's kind of dropping into this race.
Yeah.
So, and she doesn't look like it because she was claimed for a quarter, and I think a lot of people may not notice that she was running against the boys last time. So I think she's interested. I don't think Diva Banker. I know Diva Banker is doesn't win a lot. She's won before. She's not doing much lately. I thought Diva Banker made a lot of sense in this race.
She's dropping down too, even though the price tag's high, because that was an open company, and Melting Snow at the time was just.
Well, Melting Snow was getting big bias-aided trips, and she was wide last time versus a gold rail, and I want horses that were against the track. I thought she was very dangerous off her last race, and I also there's plenty of speed in this race, and maybe Cali Magic could get a piece in here. I want no 7s, 8.5 and a little 4 for me.
The Cali Magic ran okay last time. I don't disagree.
Showed a little bit of life.
Yeah.
She's not. She's a
Sure,
weird
she
horse.
wasn't a world beater, but she ran okay.
The thing about the last race today is you had to ask yourself who was really going to run. And I sort of assumed Quick Tempo wouldn't run in here. Unfortunately, I liked FF Rocket, who also didn't run in here. Airport becomes very, very dangerous in here with the scratch and the 9. And I don't really want to pick Airport, a horse that was claimed for a quarter at Penn National. But Airport also ran against significantly better horses. And with the scratch of the number 9 Quick Tempo, isn't Airport
Supposed to be gone, right? Yeah. Supposed to be gone. This horse was claimed for a quarter. It's 3 months later. One chance in a ridiculous over-the-top spot, and now in for the 16. I didn't know what to do with him. I scratch into him for 4th. I probably should have put him higher after the. I know. I probably should have put him higher after the scratch when the speed came out.
And Jacobson wins on drop.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
So what's the story with Debo?
He's another one. I did not look, and I don't want to pick again. I don't want to keep picking on these bug riders. And this kid was in a kind of a little bit of a bad spot last time because after the break, this horse did not get off particularly well last time. I thought there was a little bit of a panic last time. He kind of rushed this horse up a little bit.
He's running against it a million times. He
Yeah,
was running against
I know, and that's why I said I don't want to pick on him too much.
Poppy's prize and busting the rules. 2 back, but I guess no. I got him 4th.
Yeah, I thought he was just a little bit interesting. I thought he'd be. FF Rocket was 8-1, Jumpmaster was 8-1, and then of course the favorite comes out. So he's not going to be as good. He's the same price as 2 of the horses, and the favorite comes out. So he's not going to be 10-1 like he would have been with 2 horses a similar price and the favorite. He loses some of his luster because he's going to be 6-1.
Let's skip the last replay, guys. Let's just blow it off. No reason to show that.
It's a spread race for me. I don't love anybody here. Striking Speed's another interesting horse because, that race last time, if he runs his race last time, he's going to probably win today.
Yeah, that's an aberrant fig for a lot of horses. I wasn't a big fan, but a lot of them win them. I'm going to use Midnight Charlie, even though he ran poorly last time. He comes back on the short rest. I'm going to give him one more chance for Arriaga. But I end up with Gandy Dancing, scratching into him. He drops back down to the level he was claimed from. The reality is that Oscar Barrera's horses have been running. I thought his win 2 back was easily good enough to be competitive in this race. So I left Gandy Dancing as my top choice. His price should be fair. I thought Airport was the horse to beat. I could use their 10 as well. I didn't think he was impossible. I could use any of the 4, 6, 7, and 10. As we wrap it up, and we're about out of time, head over to Naira Bets. New promo code BONUS200. Use BONUS200. We will match the $200 of your initial deposit. We have a 20% exacta bonus, which I'm going to try to opt to again. I can't still. I'll try it on my computer. And let's see. What else? So 20 times points at Dubai, if you're playing Dubai. I know Anthony loves Dubai. Very excited about that. I love everything about Dubai. It's all good. Kidding. Gotham Challenge, you got till 5 o'clock today. So you've still got 4 hours and 14 minutes to go for that one. And BCBC seat along with cash prizes. 3 to 4:30 FS1, 4:30 to 6 FS2. Greg, Maggie, and I are here and covering here and Oaklawn. We're done. Anthony, thank you. You guys have a great day. Chris Griffin, he's next with a reprise, The Scratches and Changes. Have a great day.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.